The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
There's a girl, she's a star, she's got style, Steffi Star, you see her face around the town, she's popular, Steffi Star.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Weinstein.
And I'm Meredith Keach.
And welcome to the show with Weinstein and Keach, or is it Weinstein Keach?
I think it's both. Depends on what platform.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show.
Hashtag Weinstein Keach.
Always.
Yeah.
We are so excited. We have two fabulous guests for our podcast.
Yes. Want to revisit, which is really our favorite thing in the world.
She really wants to come back on.
I love
She has
that.
a lot to say. So, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Jenn Papagno,
And
her trainer,
so cool,
Stanley
Porter.
Porter. Yay!
I dressed Sporto for that.
You look adorable, by the way.
Thanks. I have a new short sleeve sweatshirt. This is actually my
that's
new
cute.
favorite sweatshirt I've ever had.
Wait, that's not a matching set?
Nope. And it's short sleeve
It's perfect.
and with a hood.
It's so hot out today.
Yeah,
Don't buy too many tops.
I know.
Just saying.
I know.
Okay.
Mm.
So hi, guys.
Hi.
Welcome. We've all had a very hectic morning. We were
Yeah.
all running late.
God, it was the Monday-est Wednesday ever.
I know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Jen's water is turned off at her house from the town,
Oh my God.
and she had to go to the gym and shower. And this is exciting.
Yeah.
Jenn and Stanley,
Yeah.
this is the first time they've ever met in person.
Yeah.
Oh,
And he's her
right.
trainer. So go ahead, guys. Tell us what's going on.
Oh, man. Well, first I want to give a shout out to COVID. No, I'm just joking because COVID got us doing stuff online, you know. what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
So wait, when we say trainer, just so the audience knows, we mean like gym trainer, like physical trainer,
yes.
not like life coach or something like that, but like, and so he coaches you in your workouts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. And I think it was through a mutual
Mutual
friend.
friend.
So I have a friend
Acquaintance.
and an acquaintance. Well, I have a friend we went to college together who knows our mutual acquaintance. And so he introduced me to his friend, and then somehow you got mentioned in the mix and we started working together. So that's
how it
we met.
works.
And what days of the week, at what time do you work out with Stanley?
Depends.
Yeah, it depends.
Afternoon.
Yeah, after like 1 o'clock. I think
Oh, it's not a standing appointment?
well, usually it's like Tuesdays and Thursdays, but you know, sometimes life happens,
Oh,
and so
yeah.
you gotta
Yeah.
reschedule things around.
Yeah.
But that's typically been our
What time Tuesday, Thursday?
about 1
One.
o'clock. Yeah,
Oh,
Are
right
you
after
on, so your iPad or your phone?
My phone.
yeah, I'm on either one.
And on video, you can see your face?
Yeah.
We do like a FaceTime.
Ah.
It's cool. I take him. I used to do it at the gym, but then I started at home. But I'm probably going to go back to the gym. It's just,
Oh, so you could
Better
like
again.
go to your local gym
yeah.
And bring,
and bring Stanley.
yeah.
Yep.
I have to sneak him in, though. I'm not really supposed to be talking to him on the
Oh,
phone.
okay. So do you put your earbuds in and just?
They don't work. I have to try another pair.
Why? What?
But I don't know. They're not working. They weren't. Remember, I had to do. It was awful.
You were doing sign language.
I was turning him down really low.
So Stanley, you like, go, work it, do it. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that like what you do?
Well, when the band is available, yes.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I basically tell her what the sets are. I coach her through the sets. Tell her, you know, she's doing a great job and making sure her form is correct. Yeah,
Meal plans too. That's important.
yeah,
Mm.
that's right.
And where are you, Stanley?
I'm in Boston, actually.
But when you're on a call with a client,
I might,
you're in your gym?
yeah, I'm either at Luna Fitness Club in Dorchester off of Morrissey Boulevard, and other times I'm at home.
I have so many questions.
Always.
Yeah. Okay. So visually trying to figure this out. So when you are, let's say, at home, do you have audiovisual equipment set up, or are you just iPhoning it?
I'm just iPhoning it or iPading it.
So you might put it over here. If she's like, I don't know how to do that RDL, then you show her.
Right, exactly.
And you tell her how much in weights to use.
Exactly. Mhm.
So you have to position, Jen, your phone just right so he can see your form.
Mm-hmm. It's a pain in the ass. At the gym, it is sometimes.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like you should bring your iPad.
Yeah, probably. Well, then people will see me.
That might be weird, though, Steph.
Yeah.
Lauren does.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He brings an iPad to the gym?
Well, she doesn't go to the gym anymore,
okay.
but
Does
she
she
works.
do the same type of thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, she loves it. So same thing, COVID. She was going to the gym, working out with her trainer.
Yeah.
And then, so she's been virtual for 5 years.
Yeah, I love it. I think a lot of people like that.
But
Yeah.
then you have to
Option.
have all your own. Oh, no, because you're at the gym.
You're at the gym,
So
but
your
I bought a
gym
lot
doesn't
of
like you to have your trainer virtual?
No, because they have their trainers.
Yeah, I think that's why I didn't ask them. But they're like, well, people aren't supposed to be really on their phones, I guess, with video. I think it's the video thing.
Oh, the
Oh,
video.
privacy.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Well, then they should have a note at the door.
I still do
No
it.
video.
Do you think it's just certain gyms, or do you think that's widespread? That
I don't know. It's
because I remember when I
not
first
sure.
started seeing the virtual training, I was seeing it at gyms
Yeah.
where people would be putting their phone. I would see a talking, face.
Yeah.
in
I
it.
love
would be
that.
surprised if a gym would say no,
I
even
know.
if they
What do
had
they
their own
care?
trainer. Right.
Well, I guess they do care.
Yeah, but
Well, if
Privacy.
you owned a gym,
it's pricey and you might not get in with them in their schedule. And some of them are crappy.
I want to pick who I want. I don't want to just show up and have an appointment with someone. At the
They'll
gym.
pay your monthly fee. and-
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I can see how when a trainer comes in physically to another gym,
Yeah.
that might be because I used to have a client up in Tewksbury. I travel sometimes,
Oy.
and but I had an agreement with them. As I said, as long as you don't, try to sell your services here, we know this is who you're with. So I can see when you come physically into a gym, people may want to ask you questions. Oh, you're a trainer.
yeah.
That can get a little
Right.
sticky. But the phone thing, I'm not sure why.
Right. All right.
I
what
think
do they
it's
care?
privacy.
Well,
I think so, right?
people don't want to be seen in the video.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't want.
Well,
some,
we
I
had a
wouldn't wanna
similar
be in the
issue in our
background.
office with our in-house mortgage person didn't want any other mortgage brokers in our office.
That happens a lot.
Well, guess what? Neither did Joe Papagno when he was our manager.
Well, I'm just saying
He would
it's like
kick
a turf
people
thing.
out.
Yeah.
He was like gangsta.
Yeah.
He's
Joe
loyal to
Papagno,
his people.
he is very loyal.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be
It
like,
runs
get
in the
out.
family.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
remember we got those big gift baskets and they were
Talking about my
almost thrown
brother.
out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about my brother.
Oh, okay.
Her brother was our former manager. Oh, and now he's our big boss.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you're the golden child over here. Okay.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Agree with what?
Any of it.
Well, it's not my fault.
I understand it's like, turf, but like,
because I think it was a money thing. There might have been bonuses or such.
I understand.
Oh.
I understand that side of it, but if I am
Are you talking about Stanley or the loan officers?
both, right? Okay, so if I'm paying your monthly fee, meaning to the gym, to the facility, I'm not paying a monthly fee for a trainer.
Right.
Right? And same thing like in this instance, in-house, like with our office, I get what the rules are, but I'm just saying I don't necessarily agree with it.
I don't think they care that much
I work
anymore.
for the real estate part. I don't have, frankly, I don't have an affiliation with the mortgage part of it. I mean, they go with my company, but I'm not required by
Well, remember they
my
used to
agreement.
keep track on the board, especially when Bruce Dansby was the loan officer.
Oh yeah, because it's for the
Remember?
company.
They're like,
Right.
yeah, who's
because
using
the company's bottom
right.
line.
I
They
mean,
try to put social pressures on us as they would do at the gym, but
it's not really. They don't really do that anymore, though.
my agreement is with the gym to use the facility, right? I don't know. I'm getting off topic, but I don't know. I should be able to bring who I want in there.
Well, that's how I feel. That's why I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, with the gym, yeah. And I think with work, the loan officers, they just don't want them coming in and
Physically.
talking, right, physically and talking to the other
stupid.
agents.
Right, which is I think what I was saying.
Right.
about me coming into
Right.
the gym and the fear
It's
of
just a territorial thing. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I wish there was some kind of
It's
happy
famine
medium.
mentality. I guess that's what I'm bothered
Yeah.
by. It's
Yeah.
famine mentality,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? And if you
Right.
feel comfortable with your relationship with me, then
Mhm.
don't be jealous when I'm talking to other people or bringing someone else by who's bringing me flowers or something like that.
I'm jealous.
what it
It
is.
sounded personal.
I know. Well, it is, I guess.
If you're secure in this
Anyway.
relationship,
Right.
you
Now
really
I'm-
shouldn't
Should be.
jealous.
Now I'm feeling insecure.
Yeah, if
all of
you're
a sudden.
offering the best services and the best, right, best programs for my clients or for me, then what are you worried about,
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
That's a good point.
right?
Hmm.
Anyway, I digress.
You
Let's
did.
get back to
I
working
agree
out
with you
virtually in the gym.
100%.
Oh,
Right.
good. See, there we go. Okay, so you go to your gym. Can we say what your gym is?
Planet Fitness.
Okay. So you go to Planet Fitness, and then what's your workout, Stanley? Typically an hour workout look like?
I don't know. Oh, what does it look like?
Yeah.
Well, depends on the person. So,
Over 50-year-old woman. Not that you're 50, Jen, but we're just saying.
gotta ask a few questions. So, is the person's goal weight loss? Is the person's goal like they're recovering from an injury and they just want to be more mobile? Are they a part of some kind of, well, you said over 50. Not a lot of over 50 women are in some kind of sports league unless it's pickleball. But it depends on the goal. Or is
Yeah.
it just I want to get stronger? I don't want to lose muscle.
I want to
feel
get
like-
stronger.
Mm.
Okay.
Is getting stronger and losing weight the same workout?
Could be. So how do I explain that? Getting stronger and losing weight. I guess my immediate answer would be no, because when you are trying to get stronger, you're thinking about each time you come to the gym, can I get you to push more weight? That's the only way you're gonna get stronger, is to subject your body to a stress it's never known before. And each time you do it, the body adapts and gets better, right? That explanation doesn't immediately apply to losing weight. So when you're talking about losing weight, you have to now put your body in a position to burn carbs for fuel. With the body does that first, but you want to start with your diet, eliminate some of the carbs there, so get into a deficit, and then go to the gym and work out in such a way that your body like burns through those carbs. That's not necessarily the case to get stronger. You don't have to do all that to get stronger. Like people who get stronger, you see them taking breaks between their set, right? And that's okay, not talking and chatting, but like they'll do like, let's say like 8 to 10 repetitions, then they'll wait. They may not go to another machine, they'll just wait at that machine, then they'll do it again. That's strength. But when you're talking about losing weight, you want your heart rate to be up. So those people might be doing like 15 to 20 rep sets, and they might just go to another machine and while they're resting to do something else. So when you're trying to lose weight, you want to be moving constantly, I think, in the gym. That's
But
a
you
basic
don't,
explanation.
you don't have to go on the treadmill, right? You can do it all in the weight part by moving quicker, faster reps. Is that what you're saying?
You can, and that depends on a person's ability, right? So I'll give you an example. Without the treadmill, you can use the battle ropes, right? That's going to get your heart rate up. You could do everyone's favorite exercise, burpees. No, nobody likes burpees. You could do jumping jacks. You can do, these calisthenic exercises that don't involve the treadmill. That's going to get your heart rate up, and it's going to help you build muscle as well because you're doing some explosive movements.
Why do we all hate
yeah.
burpees? I hate burpees too.
I don't know. It's just, nobody wants to drop to the ground and jump back up real
Yeah,
quick.
and the arms up in the air, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, when you jump.
Yeah. So,
I don't like lunges either.
yeah. So,
I
no, you
don't
don't have
either.
to use the treadmill, but for
No,
those
like
people who
step
don't want to do a
ups.
bunch of jumping up and down, the treadmill is a good option.
Now, I saw something recently. I don't know how much truth there is to it or science behind it, but there's this new theory that if you want to increase your bone density, because women lose it so fast after and during menopause, to jump. Remember, Steph, I sent you a video because you do your trampoline, and even like jumping on hard surfaces. Is that true?
It is, actually. And I don't want to scare people who have bad knees. We're not saying that that's the only thing you can do or have to do.
Yeah.
But again, it's stress. You apply stress if you do squats,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
But you
right.
also apply stress when you jump, and your body absorbs the impact, that stress, and that's what makes you stronger. So every time you use weights to squat, not only are you impacting your muscles, your bones are alive. People just think they're just there, but that's the place where cells are actually formed in your body. So it's living, like, I don't want to call it tissue, but it's alive, and it adapts. It changes through time. So when you apply stress from squatting, your bones, just like your muscles, also are enduring that stress and getting stronger. Same thing with jumping. I jump, I come down. I do that force. I feel that force in those bones associated with the muscles, and they get stronger as well. Yeah, jumping's great if you can do it.
So I just have to say, for anybody who's listening, this is why you need a trainer,
Right.
right?
You
Don't
can't
just
do this on your own.
sign up to Planet Fitness because you can, as I've learned too, I had an injury, and I would have wrecked my knee if I were still going to the gym on my own, where I could just go to them and say, here's my MRI. That's what I did. Don't let me injure myself more. Or to have a trainer who says, I'm not always good at saying, don't do that, Meredith, or cut back. And they do that for me. Or they'll say, do this instead of.
I'm glad you listened to them.
Well,
When I tell her no, she's like, yeah, no.
anyway.
I think you're more liable to work out and reach your goals if you have someone helping you too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like back in the day, I was in a workout group, so we all pushed each other. It was so
Right.
great.
Yeah.
Keep
I
you
loved it. I
motivated.
was so strong back in the day. Oh, I would do push-ups with a 25-pound weight on my back.
Okay, then.
I was
That's a
so,
lot.
oh my God, I was strong. I had a six-pack.
Mhm.
Wow.
I remember
Oh,
those days.
Yeah, but weren't we all stronger when we were younger?
No, not
Why do you
Yeah.
lament that?
For
It's
sure.
not like you'd still be there.
My wrists are so weak now.
Your
I feel
wrist.
like your wrist and your hands on is strong.
Like if you
Like
do
right
it.
here kills every day.
Stanley, will you make her do wrist curls or no?
We could.
Now we know she has weak wrists. Jenn Papagno, weak wrists.
These are my kill zone making hands. I cannot let anything happen to these things.
Jen, you need to open more jars of sauce.
I can't open jars.
I mean, now I feel like you have carpal tunnel.
right here kills.
I have a
Like, all
bump
of
on
sudden
mine. I think
it's
I do
like-
too.
It hurts.
What is that?
I don't know.
Arthritis?
Yeah.
How old are you,
probably
Jen? Can I ask?
51.
Ish. Yeah. God damn it. Sorry, I shouldn't say that, but it's so
The
true.
shit that comes up, right?
Everything changes. It's a day-to-day
As
basis.
soon as you hit 45, forget it.
Yeah,
I was
over
sick
after.
a month ago, and so I couldn't go to the gym for 3 weeks a month. And I was so weak when I had to start from the beginning.
She
But if
had
you were
pneumonia.
20, if you were 20, you would have been back to the gym in 3 days.
No, that, and even if it was long, I wouldn't have lost. I go back to do what I was at, and I was like, what the
Awful.
heck?
I
The trainer
know.
was like, well, you've been out for a long time. I'm like, doesn't, in the grand scheme of things, 3 weeks?
That's
It's a
sad.
lot.
It's so sad.
It's-
We have to work so hard for
Jeez.
everything.
yeah,
I'm tired. I'm
Yeah.
tired, Stanley.
Listen, I'm
Tired.
like that too. Yeah.
I'm just tired.
Uh-huh.
I hit a wall sometimes in the middle of the day. And I have older clients that like over 70. And sometimes they report, I always ask people, well, how did you sleep last night? And so after a certain point, the woman who's 74 years old, she was like, I didn't sleep last night, Stanley.
Stop asking, Stanley. You know the
I
answer.
don't sleep well.
Is she Jewish?
Yes. How'd you know?
What a shock.
Not surprised.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right.
I know my people and
Yeah.
I know how we talk.
Yes.
Okay, then. Yes, exactly. So, but I realized that is something that happens with a lot of people in that age category. And the other day I was like, man, I woke up to use the bathroom and then I had trouble going back to sleep. I was like, is it happening?
Mhm.
Is it
Oh,
happening?
right.
Yeah, because your mind starts going.
Yeah. And I'm like, I
Right.
gotta shut this down. so I can
Right.
sleep.
Yeah.
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 27
once you
years
start going
ago.
to the bathroom in the middle of the night, you know you're old.
Forget it. Magnesium,
Just
though,
hold it
man,
in.
that is
Yeah.
like,
Start
we
taking
all
that.
must be magnesium deficient.
We are.
All right, so I interrupted before. So let us know after you've asked your questions to your client. Let's say for Jen, what's an hour workout with you like?
Okay, so let's say it's a leg day, right? So with Jen, I think we were trying to get stronger as well as lose weight. And so I don't try to do everything at once. Sometimes I say, okay, let's just go through a few weeks of a strength program and then we'll ramp it up based on what I see. So on a leg day, there are several parts of your lower body. There's your glutes, there's your quads, there's your hamstrings. So I will design a leg program that taps all of that. And so let's say we'll start with, after warming up, maybe we'll start with some leg presses, all right? Then after some leg presses, we'll get into some lunges. And I'll couple the exercises as well. So I think on one program I have you on, Jen, it's leg presses and it's called a superset. So right after she does leg presses, she does something else. So she'll do a single leg deadlift. That means she balances on one leg, has a kettlebell in one hand, and will kind of tip herself over, the back leg comes up in the air. So she's like balancing, and then she'll stand up again. And that's to work her hamstring. So with that superset, I'm targeting the quad and the hamstring, or the front and the back of the leg in the course of that activity. And then once we finish maybe 4 sets of those, each time increasing weight. So if she's got 2 25-pound plates on each side of the leg press, the next time we do it, when we go to 45. The next time we're going to add 10s. The next time we're going to add. So once we're done with that sequence, then we'll go to another sequence. So now I'll say, go to the leg extension machine, where you sit down and you bring your legs forward like this so you can work your quads. And maybe I'll couple that with some lunges or something like that. So that's how we go until we reach about 45 minutes, and then we start cooling down a little bit.
And do you do 2 questions? Do you do a warm up, and do you do a whole body in 1 hour?
Again, it depends on the program. So some programs, particularly if it's strength, if that's the focus, I will focus on a part of the body. So it might be 2 muscle groups. So if I do an upper body day, that's typically going to be your back and your chest. And then a lower body day, you can spend a whole hour just doing your legs. A lot of people don't understand that. They just come in and maybe just do some leg presses. And what else can I do? Go to a couple machines. There's so many angles you can approach your legs from. You can do side lunges, reverse lunges, kettlebell swings. There's a lot of things. And so if I do it that way, you have an upper body, lower body, and the third day will be a full body. Now, for somebody that's a little bit more advanced and they want to accelerate their weight loss, I might do like 2 or 3 full body days that week, but never back to back. You need to take a day or 2 in between to let your body recover. So yeah, it depends on the program.
It's a lot. That's why I have
Stanley,
a trainer.
You're making me want to go back to the gym.
You should. Yeah.
But the nice thing too about having a trainer, you don't have to think about any of that.
Right.
You just have to
Yeah.
show up. My goal.
And you sleep better when you work out. Too,
Oh,
do you know?
100%.
Totally. And my goal is just to I just need to show up. That's it. That's all I
Right.
have to do is
Right.
just go. And sometimes you get sick, you can't go, right? Or
Sometimes
you have
you get pneumonia
sometimes
and you keep going and
you
going into the office with pneumonia and driving people around. But yeah.
or you work out with injuries, not knowing you have injuries.
Right.
But
Wow.
that's the cool thing too, because you don't have to go to the gym. I know before I went to a gym where it was a trainer, I would go to the gym and be like, what am I going to work on today? You just feel soulless, lost. Like
You do.
maybe I'll do my
Right.
neck, or
My neck.
maybe I'll
Maybe I'll do my wrists.
work my wrists, or and you're like, try this or try that. And
Stanley, what if somebody
work.
doesn't want to join a gym and they just want to work out from home? What's
Yeah.
the equipment that they would need
and
to
how do you
get
guide
started
them?
with
Yeah,
you?
great question.
Yeah, that's a
Steph.
great question.
Oh my God, thank you. Because usually I don't.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah,
That's good.
thanks.
No, I mean, if they're at home, and the goal, which is, I'm just going to go with the general goal that most people have. Most people want to lose about
weight.
5-10 pounds.
Yeah.
Right? And they're getting stronger as a bonus. They know they'll get stronger. So I would say top 4 things that I think you need to have. Number 1, I think you should have a kettlebell because it's just very versatile.
How many pounds?
Well, that depends on the person.
Let's
and
say
their
you're
age.
over 50.
Over 50?
25.
But they're in kilograms, so I never know what they mean.
Sometimes you can get them in pounds too.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, I think 20 or 25.
Can you get
depending on
them
the
with your face on them, Stanley, please?
On the kettlebell?
Yeah.
That'd be so
Rogan
great.
has them
Hilarious.
with his face on.
That's
Really?
so
Somebody
great.
got them. Yeah.
I like that. That's a great
I
idea.
love
should.
that. That
I-
is adorable.
I don't know where to get them, but I'll see if I can research.
Putting
Because
our
how
face
much
on
fun
this.
would that be?
I love that.
That would be.
You could sell all your women that don't want to join a gym.
Yeah.
All the equipment
A
with
set.
your face on it.
Yes.
Yeah, all the
Imagine-
stuff.
Imagine.
That's so cute.
We love
the
merch.
Stanley set.
Yes.
That's cool. That's cool. I have a guy.
You got his brain
you get
going now.
you get
Yeah,
a
you do.
box, right? You get a
Stanley's like,
couple of
his
t-shirts,
t-shirt.
women's cut
Yes.
V-neck,
Yeah.
right? Women's cut V-neck,
Yes.
black, because everybody wants a black workout shirt,
Right.
and they get nasty.
Yep.
And your kettlebell set, your dumbbell set, based on
Yeah, your starter kit.
Your
Stanley
starter
starter
kit.
Look at these.
Stanley's
these girls are
starter
good.
kit. We are
we're in sales.
marketers.
We'll sell
Oh,
it for you.
really?
Yeah.
That's his
Yeah.
shirt, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
that
this.
shirt
You
up.
got this. And it's just because that's what I tell my clients all the time. A couple of phrases that I always say, like, don't forget mind muscle connection, or you got this. And so I decided to every time I show up, you know what's going on. Clients are like,
So is that your merch?
Yeah, you got this. Yeah.
How do we get one?
Well, I have a website, so
What's your website, Stanley?
Well, it's stanleyporter.net, and I think it says like shop or something like that. You can look around.
I want to get this shirt.
But,
I think I'm going to order myself one.
Can you get me one?
Well, I'll wear it for you.
I owe you.
You can look at
I don't
me.
even know what my
You
bills
can look
up
at
to.
me and feel comfortable because I'll have it the saying, you got this.
I love that.
When you're overwhelmed, you can just look at my shirt.
I got
That's right.
this.
I love that.
Yeah, but you mentioned another piece of equipment, which is dumbbells. I
Yeah.
think kettlebell, maybe a set of dumbbells.
Yeah.
This is as if you're just starting, right? You can't get a whole rack. At
Yeah.
least have 2. A lot of people.
How many pounds?
Good point.
Like 10 pounds each, or that's
I like
light.
20. I
Yeah,
like
that's
20.
light.
20 is my standard.
20 is heavy. For
I can
me.
Yeah,
always
but I
do
feel
20.
Like it's
That's too. I'm
you feel
weak.
it.
When I'm fit, I can go more,
You
but
feel it,
20.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I was advising for you ladies, right? Because as a trainer, when you ask that question, I'm thinking, well, what is does the person have any issues with their shoulder and getting 10 pounds, maybe?
Right.
You know what I mean? But for you guys,
Yeah.
yes, I would say 15 or 20 pounds for the dumbbells would be good for you. 20 or 25 for the kettlebell. All right. I would also say you want some kind of surface, right, other than your couch or a chair.
Right.
So I would say
The ball, that
a
big
stability
rubber
ball. Yeah, a big stability.
Oh, I thought
ball.
you meant like flooring.
That too.
Okay.
A mat is good.
Okay.
But in terms of like strength training, the stability ball is good for a lot. You can do a lot of things with that. Not only can you sit on it, and it works your core because it's not stable. So you have to you might not even be aware of it, that you're using your core
That's
to help
true.
yourself stay up.
Is that the big yoga ball? Is that what you're
Yeah.
talking about?
Oh.
So that's a good one too to have
We
around.
never use ours, actually.
Yeah.
Those are good.
Yeah.
You can also do some ab exercises with it.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Now I'm gonna get one to add to my repertoire
Right.
of all the stuff I don't
Tell
use.
Stanley what I told you when you wanted a Peloton.
She's like, don't do it. It's going to sit in your living room, and then you're going to come down every day and you're going to look at it. You're not going to use it, and you're going
Sold
to
yours,
feel
didn't you?
guilty, and you're going to feel terrible about yourself.
And what happened?
I gave it
You
to my
gave it away.
ex-husband.
That's right. Yeah.
After that happened.
He loves it. He uses it every
hilarious.
day. Oh, and my boyfriend was livid. Anthony was livid.
Yeah. That you gave
Why
it to
would
Jason.
you give it to Jason? Well, I said,
Well, Tony Mini wanted it, but he wasn't going to use it
he
any more
wanted
than you
it.
would.
Well, exactly. I said, I waited and I watched.
Mhm.
You did not use it.
Yeah.
I wasn't using it. Alex and Gregory were home at the time. Nobody was using it. And I didn't say anything. I didn't say, I'm giving it away. But nobody used it. So I quietly gave it away.
Wow.
And Mr. J loves it.
How do
Some
you
people do
quietly
love a
give away
Peloton.
How do you
Quietly gave it away.
She
It's
did not
actually on
quietly
loan.
give it
Right,
away.
right.
I was very loud about it, but it is quiet. If I want it back, he said he'll give it back.
Okay.
Oh, after today, she might want it back.
Right. But-
Now I kind of want
yeah.
it back.
You need a people, though. Like, you need people.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I shouldn't
I love
say a blanket
classes.
statement, but like, I need people.
Yeah.
I do too.
I need to to be consistent.
Mhm.
I can go for a walk by myself, but man, if I have a friend,
so much
I
better.
can walk like 5 miles, no
Yeah.
problem,
Yeah.
consistently,
Yeah.
regularly. People that I meet, if you go at 5:30, all right, fine. I might not always want to meet you at 5:30 in the morning,
Terrible.
But
but
then
I
you feel
will.
obligated and you go. and
Correct.
It's like once you're there, you're good. You're glad you went.
And that's what my friend Marty does is he says when he's going to be there,
Yeah.
and he's going to be there. And that's like having a trainer, right?
Yes, it is, the accountability,
Okay, if
yeah.
we have an appointment, then you have to be there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so do you train people at a gym too?
Yes. It's Luna Fitness Club on Morrissey Boulevard in Dorchester. So that's where I do most of my work. Yeah.
Is it a big gym? What kind of gym
No,
is it?
it's a small, intimate, and every trainer is different. So that's kind of more my style. I'm more of an intimate. I'm not a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of guy that really takes time to. I'll walk around you, and so I can make sure your everything is good. So that suits me just well.
Got it.
Yeah, I've worked in big gyms before. I started out in Crunch Fitness. That's a bigger gym.
Okay.
So I was there first. Yeah.
One of the trainers I worked with would do this. Actually, he left for a new opportunity, which was so for, but he would come up close to you and he'd go, "How's your diet?"
I love it.
And
love
I'd be
it.
like, "Get out of my head,
Yeah.
Craig."
Yes.
As I'm thinking about the chicken parm I had the night.
None of your business, Craig.
You're like, why are you
Scat.
asking me that?
Get out of my brain.
What's making you
And then the
ask me
next week
that?
I'll be like, "You were in my brain all week."
I love it.
Right? So how do you address our diets?
My client this morning, I was talking to her on the phone. She goes, Now, don't eat and drink too much tonight.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah.
Is she a fitness person?
No.
She just knows
She
you.
just knows you?
She's Jewish.
Ah, this one here.
Wow.
Hilarious. Yeah, but how do we deal with the diets? You know, all of this involves a kind of there's a psychological aspect to it, even with the exercise.
Right.
So I got people who are like literally. I have one woman, admittedly, who told me I'm OCD and so forth and so on. So certain things, if you talk to me a certain way, I'm gonna just go overboard.
Oh.
So we didn't talk meal plans because if you know what I mean.
She would obsess about it.
That's the word I'm trying to go. Obsess.
Yeah.
You know, and some people even like weighing. they
Yeah,
obsess.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't talk
Yeah.
to them that way. So I just meet with her every once in a while, and we just have just a general conversation about, you know, life and what she ate, and she's comfortable with that. Then there are the people who are just like, tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Mm.
They'll take a meal plan, and they don't need exciting food. That's a very small part of the population, but they're out there.
Right.
You know,
My sister.
Yeah.
Donna
tell me-
Davids is like that.
My sister could just eat lettuce.
Right.
She does not care about food at all.
Right.
She does not have an eating. I mean, she has to eat because she's
Right.
hungry, but she doesn't care what it is.
Yeah. That's not like the zestiness of
Right.
life for her. So there are those people, and they follow meal plans just easily. Then in between, there's like a variation of like the rest of us who food is an important part of our families, our culture. And, you know, I'm not even talking about just feeling good because you're stressed. It's social. I remember
Right.
this is my grandmother's recipe. or
Right.
Right.
When we come together, this is what we do.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's hard to like invade that space.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So that for those people, I'm just asking them to kind of track their food. So if you can just put it into a MyFitnessPal,
Yeah.
and then we can have a conversation so that you become more mindful of portion size, maybe frequency of a certain type of meal. So I got a guy who's Middle Eastern, and he was like, Stan, you don't understand, like bread, we use that as a utensil. Like we eat
Right.
with bread.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, man, I didn't even think about that.
Right.
So he's consuming so much bread.
Mm.
And so we got to
Yeah.
figure out a way to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
It's like Italians.
Stanley,
Yeah.
how do I get the feeling of Ozempic without being on it?
oh Lord. The
Get pneumonia.
feeling of-
You
How do
won't
I
want to
get
eat.
that feeling of just not hungry ever
Do you ever see those things online?
and having like a
They're like
tablespoon of
juices.
food?
You know what? My new thing about eating lots of protein, I get that.
Yeah.
It's wild. I really feel so stupid because there's no gimmick to it. I just,
Yeah.
like, when I'm eating, I'm like, where's the protein? Because
So
For me,
you're adding it too. You're not just
I
eating
hate
protein.
being hungry. I really do. I
Yeah.
must have died of starvation in another life because that's the majority of the reason why I eat, because I hate that. Like, I'm hungry right now.
Me too.
And so
too.
I'm obsessing over what I'm
Starving.
going to have for lunch.
I get in a
That's
bad
why I
mood.
went right. Stanley
Yeah.
was talking
Yeah.
about
Right.
bread. I'm like,
But that's when I'm hungry, that's when I overeat.
Mhm.
You're right.
And
Yes.
and if I eat like
Yes.
everyone.
and make sure that I have stuff in the fridge that's
Mhm.
like chicken and
Ground
boiled
turkey.
eggs, ground
Mhm.
turkey,
Yes.
yogurt, kefir, and then the protein powder is like the coolest thing in the world
Mhm.
because that fills you up even more. You just add it to the yogurt.
Yeah.
But you know where I
Gives
go
me a
off the
stomach
rails
ache.
is
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It
It
Dinner.
Just give you a stomach ache.
just feels weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like a half a scoop rather than a whole scoop, I will say.
I like double over in pain
Oh, that's
with
No, I
like
don't do that. It
protein
just has
power
a
and
weird feeling.
smoothies.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Don't
dinner
go-
is difficult because that's when it gets into like family time.
Yeah. But you hit the nail on the head. You know, I was searching for an answer, but I'm so glad that you had a good experience with eating more protein. There's 3 things I think people probably underconsume. A lot of people, one is protein, and protein has a higher satiety kind of effect on the body. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's the hardest thing for the body to digest.
Oh.
So, and that's not a bad thing. I don't want
Yeah.
people to think that, oh, that means
Yeah.
it's a problem.
Yeah.
It just means it takes longer.
Right.
And if you're trying to lose weight, because your body's taking so long to work at it, it's also burning calories just by you eating it and having to digest it. So that's a
right.
little thing that people should remember. Eat more protein, it'll help you lose weight as well.
Ah.
But it'll help you stay full because the body's working on it.
Yeah.
The reason why sometimes you feel super hungry after eating like rice or some kind of like sugary thing is because the body gets to it so fast. It's in your blood already. and then you're looking for something else. But
Right.
there's also like you're probably a little high, you get that
From the sugar.
From the sugar, and
Yeah.
you want more. So, it's a little different.
Right.
You eat more protein, you probably don't want more, but you eat more like carbs, especially like light carbs and sugar, you're probably going to want more for a lot of different reasons. But protein, fiber is another thing that keeps you full. So a lot of people don't consume enough fiber. And then finally, water. I see you with the water. Water also keeps you full. So those three things, if you want to feel full and not really, like you're starving all day long. But I got to add this to the mix as well. It's about habit forming. So I think the more you have a plan. So there's two habits I think that will help people. One is tracking your food, logging. And the other, it'll come back to me. What did I say? I was 51. So it'll come back.
It'll
to
come
me.
back.
But anyway, the first one is logging it. And that helps me because sometimes I might log at the end of the day and kind of but sometimes I'll log halfway through the day. And I'm like, let me just see what I've eaten so far. And then when I see what I've eaten so far, I'm going to make different decisions because I'm like, man, I got a lot of carbs already. I'm starving, but what should I eat now that I'm starving? Now that is kind of stopping. It's like planning, not really planning, but planning was the other thing I was going to say. Meal planning is another way you can get ahead of those starving times of the day. So it's like, okay, look at what am I going to have for breakfast? What am I going to have for lunch? What am I going to have for dinner? Think about it in the beginning of the day. Don't wait until the moment to figure it out because then you're probably hungry and you're going to grab for anything. But if I've already made up my mind, even if I don't do it perfectly, but I've thought about it in advance, let's see. For breakfast, I'm going to have this. For lunch, it would be good to have that. And I think for dinner, this is what I should have. Now, I log it before the day begins. Not every day, but most days I'll do that. And I say,
Before you consume?
before I consume.
Oh.
So that way, my mind is saying that's what you should eat.
You're committed.
You got it. Yeah.
So sometimes I do that too. I have a scale and I measure out my stuff that I'm eating. I've been eating a lot of tofu. I measure my tofu, my chicken, my ground turkey, plus the lumen, because I told you I'm on the lumen where I blow into this little machine and it checks my metabolism. Oh, I didn't tell you that, Jen. Yeah, so I wake up and I have my black coffee and then I don't do it right when I wake up because you get like a cortisol spike when you first wake up. So I have my black coffee and I chill out a little bit and then I blow into the lumen and it tells you how your body, what you're burning when you sleep overnight. So you're supposed to be burning fat, but for the longest time I was burning carbs.
That's awesome.
I know. So now it's taken a while, but I figured out like what I'm supposed to eat for my body. So, and then it will tell you it's a low carb day.
Yes.
And it tells you how many carbs you can
Never
eat
heard of this.
and how many. So today's a medium carb day. Anyway, I had grilled chicken this morning for breakfast because I was in a rush and I had already made the grilled chicken the other day. So I grilled chicken and I had some pickles and I threw like a few tomatoes. But so I ate that, but guess what? I'm starving. I had my water. I'm starving.
What time was that?
That was at
Around
that was like at 9.
9.
So it wasn't even that early. And I went for a walk. I go for a 2-mile
That was a
walk.
long time ago, though.
Right. Like
Is
it's
it?
over 4 hours.
I would be
right?
starving if I
That's
ate.
almost
That's
4
basically
hours.
what I ate. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I usually eat at like 10 again.
Yeah.
Or like, if you
Yeah,
ate at
I mean, I'm
9,
hungry.
Every 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everybody's different, right? So that's probably why you're hungry.
Now, the other day, it was interesting. I had black beans.
I love black beans.
So I had some well, I felt so energetic that day. I felt smarter. It was like the strangest thing. And I pre-measured my beans for my lunch too. And I don't even remember what I mixed it with. But that day I wasn't hungry. Beans are
I like beans.
Protein and fiber, yeah.
protein and fiber.
You know what I've been doing is creatine.
Creatine's good.
And I have noticed a difference in clarity in my brain when I
Yes.
take it.
Yeah.
Makes me sharper.
Is that like a placebo or is it true?
No. It's true. I mean,
What is creatine?
Well, the body produces creatine already, and it's something that when it's one of the I'm trying to remember the energy pathway that it uses, but it's one of the ways that the body creates energy, right? And but we don't have a lot of it. So when we exercise or we do movement, we kind of utilize the creatine that's readily available. Most people will take it for, and this is what I'm more familiar with around the effects of creatine, is to help delay the fatigue when they're in the gym, because the body's natural resources with creatine. It's just not that much. So you kind of get tired. So you'll take creatine to delay that fatigue. But there has been research. I've kind of perused a few articles, but it's been pretty consistent that it also has some positive impacts on brain clarity and focus.
Yeah. So this woman I follow, Dr. Stacy Sims, she focuses on our age group, females, and nutrition and fitness, and says, we have to reprogram our brains on everything that we do. But one of the things is consistently every day after your workout, you have creatine, and eating more consistently, eating before a workout, which is normal. But the whole fasting movement, I think, kind of wrecks that. And then you listen to someone else and they're like, don't eat until 11, don't break your fast.
But you know what it is? It's like, not only is there a lot of information out there, but a lot of people are in various stages of their fitness journey. So sometimes something that works for them right now might not work for you right now.
So
true.
Chances
are something that worked for me 5 years ago is not going to work for me today.
So true.
So there is something to the intermittent fasting, which sometimes I do. I try to have a window of 12 hours where I'm not eating. So it's like thorough digestion, absorption of the food that I ate. So I'm not, I'm only eating within an 8-hour window. But I'm not going to live and die by that. But I do understand the benefits of that. But there's also the benefits of eating every 3 to 4 hours. And so you can explain them both away, right?
Yeah.
So eating every 3 to 4 hours stimulates your metabolism, right? Because it's like fuel. You put wood to keep the fire going. And that's what food is. It's fuel for the body. So the less you put in there, the less your metabolism is going to be fired up. And the less your metabolism fired up, the less your body will be able to process things. Does that mean that, you should live by that for the rest of your life? Maybe, maybe not, depending on you, because you can also stimulate your metabolism by intermittent fasting. Because, and some of that depends on how you've been eating up to that point. So I'll take me for an example. I have a body type of like a mesomorph. That means I'm pretty kind of balanced from the shoulders kind of, down. And I don't have a hard time putting on muscle. But however, I have to be careful of my carb intake because, I just have a high carb sensitivity. So if I'm not careful, I'm going to bloat up and I'm going to have weight and it'd be hard to lose it. It's going to take me a while. I already know this. So because, believe it or not, I grew up eating, I had a lot of soul food. That was my thing, my family, black eyed peas. Right? I love this stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with fried chicken. Everybody likes fried chicken. Nothing wrong with, I love yams, but candied yams, like a lot of that, it was a lot of sugar. It's good, but
that was the trainer face where you were just like, but candied yams, do we need to add sugar to it?
Right. You already know.
Right.
You already know. And so just little things like that. And so I used to eat a lot of pork rinds and stuff like it's just.
My boyfriend eats those.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So.
I don't.
Right. Anyway, so because I'd eaten like that for a long time and forget about it, the pies and the desserts, the ice cream. So I need.
Delicious.
Look. I'm sorry, I'm talking a table of hungry
Jen's
people.
like, what am I going to make today?
Yeah, and as I hear, you're a great cook, so But so the intermittent fasting is good for me because my body could use that extended period of time.
When do you do it? When would you do a fast?
Like
after you've been eating crappy, or just like on a random Tuesday you'll do a 12-hour fast?
I try to do it. I do a few months where I'll do it. And
like once a week?
No, every day, Meredith.
Every day for
every day he'll stop eating at 8 or 9 at night and then fast until
like 9 or something in the morning. Yeah.
Oh.
Give myself a good 12 hours to process everything.
Oh, got it. Okay.
To give my body a chance to get used to this new schedule, because the body needs to. You have to repeat something often enough for the body to say, "Oh, this is what we're doing now."
Right.
You want me to, really thoroughly digest everything. So, okay.
Now, I liked when you said carb sensitive.
I knew you loved
I will now be using that. I will add that to my list of things.
Yeah.
I cannot eat that. I am carb sensitive.
Oh, okay.
Well, we have also been told that we're volume eaters.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you have.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I watch you eat, so I know I'm a volume eater too.
Yeah.
So explain that.
You eat until you're full.
You're only supposed to eat until you're 80% full.
Yeah.
According to the Japanese.
You wait until you're ravenous. and then you just eat until you're
That's
full.
why I have to measure my food. So now I just measure it and put it in these little containers, and then that's it.
Like cabbage in the office.
Yeah.
Because you know what happens?
Meredith said I can't eat cabbage in the office. I think it's
No.
rude.
The smell or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can't microwave it.
We don't have windows.
So now I have
Right,
to eat
I
it
know.
outside, Stanley.
Smells
Do you
like
think that?
farts.
How am I supposed
Why don't you
to?
just bring like a fish platter to the office
Yeah.
if you're going to do
Someone
that?
else did
You
that
know
and put
what?
it in the microwave.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I put it on the internet. I was so outraged.
Meredith put a note on the microwave. Do not heat
just
fish up.
peeling back the top part with the
Oh, yeah.
cabbage. That's all you need.
It's so bad, but it's so delicious.
It is.
It's good for you, yeah.
And you can eat a lot of it.
Joey likes it.
See?
Your intestines have to be prepared for it, though.
No, I'm fine with it.
With cabbage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't bring it to the office. Great.
You know what I wish?
What
But-
do you saute it with garlic and oil or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good.
Not even garlic. Just I have like a little spray olive oil.
Mm. Salt and pepper.
Oh, the chili garlic oil.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good.
Mhm.
Those are good. I often wish that someone skinny would just take my body for a couple months.
Mm.
Skinny and fit.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know, did
Can
you
you
ever
just take
listen
it
to
for a bit?
Skinny Bitch by Bethany Frankel?
Well, no, but you have, and you've given me her quips.
Yeah.
Like, do you have to be a baby? That's the one.
Right. It's like, do you have to be a kindergartner and eat the pizza and the ice cream?
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Is that your book?
Yeah, it's one of them. Yeah.
You wrote-
One of them? Stanley, we're just
Here
hearing
we've been
about this
chatting,
now.
and you
We're
are an
46
author?
minutes into the podcast.
Show us the front.
Okay. I don't know where am I holding it right. Oh, here it is. Oh, there we go.
What's the title?
The wait is over.
Oh.
Wait, play on words. Wait,
Play
as
on
in,
words.
like-
It's emotional. Wait, actually, the story of this is tied. The writing of this book is tied to my personal fitness journey. It's a memoir of a friend of mine. Actually, I wrote it, right. So I had a concussion. Like I can't remember. I remember it was Cinco de Mayo. It was like May 5th. I just dropped my son off to daycare, and this guy was on his cell phone. He just like rear-ended me, like totaled the back of the car. So thinking my son wasn't in there because the whole back of the car was smushed in. So I I'm just such
How many
a
years ago
typical
was this?
guy. This had to be about like 10, 11 years ago.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, I'm all right. There was an ambulance right there too. That's like, do you want us to get you to the side of the road? I was like, nah, I'm good. Bad move. I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
So I get out. I'm like, dang. So I get over to the side of the road. Guy comes over. We exchange information. So I think nothing of it. I go home. I'm like pissed. So the next day I wake up and my back and my neck were like kind of like real tight. And I was driving to work. I was teaching at the school at the time. And so I was in the Kenmore area. So I just pulled us, let me go to the hospital real quick. So I found out I had a concussion and some like back and shoulder neck strain and so forth. So I had to go to physical therapy. Now during that time, I had to be, I was so sensitive to light. I'm also a keyboardist, and I had a band at the time. So I couldn't even like play the piano because I would get dizzy. And if I was sleeping, even during the daytime, I had to put something over my eyes because the sunlight, it would, pierce through my eyelids, and my brain, your brain needs to be at rest for it to heal. Even my speech was a little impacted. I could talk, but I found like I was laboring to form sentences. It was something I didn't admit until there was someone else, an instructor that I knew in a martial arts class who would speak French to us. And I just thought, because I had another teacher who was from Japan and he spoke Japanese. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. She just speak French. You know what I'm saying? I could dig it. But when after the accident, we were talking after class one day and she says, she started asking me questions about when I speak. And she was right. I was like, how do you know this? She was like, I had an accident too, and I had a concussion. And that's the reason why I speak in French. I teach French, but sometimes I just flow into it because of the accident. I don't even know what's happening. I was like, oh, wow. So that's just a side story. But here I am at home. But remember I told you how I was eating, right? All that stuff. And I'm in bed and I'm just putting that food down, putting it down. And I'm watching TV. I'm sleeping. That's all I'm doing. I'm sedentary. No music, no gym rat stuff. So anyway, I gained about 25 pounds. And at one time I go in, get some like blood work, neurology appointment. And they were like, yeah, we need you to come in and like take a look at these labs. And they were like, your cholesterol is 10 times the level it should. I was like, 10?
Oh,
I was like, they were like, you're a heart attack or a stroke waiting to happen. We're surprised it hasn't happened yet. And I was like,
so scary.
Really? I was like, can you run those numbers again? They ran them. It was like, it was my triglyceride count was like crazy. And so they had me work with a nutritionist, and they were like, you know, it's the sugar. You know, I thought it was like, it's like the fried stuff. They were like, nah, it's the sugar and all the sauces that you're eating.
Oh.
And so you got to cut back. And so that's when I teamed up with a friend who was a trainer. It was a budding friendship, and she was in the fitness field. And I needed that person to hold my hand like that and to be on me, like, you know, what are you eating?
Yeah. How's
You
your
know what I'm
diet?
saying? Exactly.
How's your diet?
And so as she was telling me her story, and she was formerly high blood pressure, high cholesterol, suffered depression and so forth. And I was like, man, that's so inspiring. Like, you need to tell that story. I mean, you should write a book. She was like, I'm not a writer. Now, I had previously written one, so I was like, I am. And so one of the exchanges was,
I'm a writer.
Yeah.
like, continue to, I appreciate you helping me, but I'd love to share your story, because I think a lot of people, you know, could relate. And she said, okay. And so I just started interviewing her, and that's when this book was, you know, born. The Wait Is Over. It talks about her journey. She went into the bodybuilding world. She's not a bodybuilder now, but she was. And that wasn't what she started out to do, but it became something that she ended up, you know, doing. And so it's her journey from her level of obesity and depression to like kind of health and wellness. So I penned it for her.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it self-published?
Yeah. So it's on Amazon. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
thank you.
great.
When did it print?
This printed probably about, when's the copyright here? Because I got so many things. 2015.
Wow. So Stanley, how do people,
amazing.
do you do social media? You have your website.
Mm-hmm.
How do people follow you? How do they get your merch?
Yeah. So it's okay to say like places online.
Yeah, we want you to
Okay.
do it.
Yeah, so my Instagram is at Stan P Fitness. So Stan, STANP Fitness, Stan P Fitness. That's Instagram. I'm on Facebook as well. And my website is stanleyporter.net. And I believe there's a link that just says shop. If they want to see like T-shirts or whatever, they can, you know, look at it there. That's the best way to do it.
And what happens if somebody wants you to train them?
There's a contact form. I mean, even on my website, it talks about personal training. Like, you know, so you get to choose how you want to interact with me. And then I'll look at my schedule. And once the person reaches, I think that's how you reached out to me through my website.
Mm-hmm.
And I followed up with her, and we figured out, okay, what does our schedule look like? Is it in person? Is it virtual? And we figure it out from there.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Jen, tell us about your experience working with Stanley.
It's terrible.
How many years?
Not just this year.
Oh, no.
Actually, no. When did we start?
I think it was,
It hasn't been a full year.
it hasn't been a full year. Yeah.
I don't remember what time of maybe last April, May.
That sounds about
Right?
right. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I guess a year.
Mm-hmm. I think it's been about a year. Just, you know, life happens, and so sometimes we have to take a little bit of you know, time. But yeah, yeah. How's it been working with me, Jen?
Awesome. No, it's great. It's great.
And how many times a week do you work out?
It'd be 2 times a week.
2 times a week.
Mhm.
And then do you do other things outside of your workout?
Yeah, so he has like a plan that I can do on days that I'm not with him.
And
which
do you
is
follow his eating regimen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you do when you are not wanting to cook your amazing meals, though? Calzones and
When I don't want to cook,
well, like, what do you do? How do you give that up?
it's hard, especially around the holidays and when you're rushing around with the kids and stuff.
Yeah.
So you get off track sometimes, but you get back on.
I mean, that's the balance. That's the hard part.
Right, and that's the thing. It's okay
He's
if
got
you
an app,
screw
though,
up
that
today.
works awesome.
And it's not a screw up. You just get back on track tomorrow.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
all done
Like,
it.
it's okay.
I have to get back on track again, but
Mm-hmm.
he's got an app that you go in every day, and when I did my workouts, I would like hit done, and then it's like a checklist.
Oh, got it.
That's
So
good.
it's good.
Yeah.
The app's awesome.
You know what I will say? Again, get a trainer. I have lost. So I joined my gym where they're not one-on-one, but they're adult classes, like anywhere from 3 to probably 6 or 7 people, adults. And without really doing anything crazy or specific, 16 pounds since 2020.
That's what's up.
Just,
Good job.
Wow,
joining
that's
that gym.
amazing, Meredith.
right? That's a lot.
That's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
When I first started there, it was so hard to get on the ground and get up.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to bring a big old sweat rag because I was,
I felt the same way before I started with him.
it's amazing,
more mobile.
right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you just have more
every day. Like you want to go get your
Yeah.
Christmas decorations and
Yeah.
you know, to be like, I
More
can't get
energy.
that. Someone else, please. Like you can just go do your thing. God, it's been, I mean, I'm a big fan, Stanley. I'm a
You
big
need
fan.
you need someone you really like and get along with too. Someone,
yeah,
Yeah.
like they're
like
your
I feel like I've
advisor.
known him longer than I have. He's just like a friend, you know.
I think a hard one too
Good.
is for former athletes. I don't know what you think about that, Stanley, but like my husband was an athlete and I try to get him to go to a trainer and he's like, nah, I got this. And I'm like, you had it 30 years ago. You don't got this now. Like, you don't know what you're doing for a 52-year-old body, right?
Right.
Like, you got to watch out, you know, for your knees and you got to watch your shoulders. And I mean, he's disciplined, obviously, and very hardworking and can jump right in. But man, it's so different than when you're 20.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's different for men and women. I mean, that's why most personal training clients are women. And I think
Interesting.
guys just have a different way they move. Even just in the gym, it's like kind of almost like a bro culture, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so you get with your guys and you guys do what you do. And I think with athletes too, they're used to a brotherhood, you know.
Right.
And they're used to, they've been coached for so long that, and so there's an element of that that's to be respected, but then you also bring up a good point. Like you're not him from 20
You're
years
not.
ago or 25
Right.
years ago.
Right.
And some guys have to, they're trying to like,
And it's
come
not a
to
bad
ter-
thing.
but they're trying to come to terms with that.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? For so long, I've been able to do this, and it's
Right.
like, and I don't think you see your. I don't. Sometimes guys, we're not as in tune with how we're changing, whether it's denial or whether because women look at themselves more. You guys get checkups more. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we don't. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's just it's a struggle for us. So it's harder for guys to kind of link up with trainers. I do have about 3 guys or 4 guys I'm working with, but got about 15 ladies. So
Interesting. How much space do you need in your home to be able to do Stanley's workout?
Not a lot.
What's not a lot?
well, I mean, I think if you have like
10
a living room, yeah, you know, even like small. I got a guy who's working out. It's like almost like his bedroom. You know what I mean? But you can do it. You know, you can. It's just having the right program. Listen, when I first started, I used to work in a community, not work in, but when I left the big gym to branch out on my own, there was outdoors when the weather was nice, and there was a community center, and they didn't really have a fitness space, but the guy really he liked my energy to be around the place, so he was like, dude, I'm sorry, but we got a copy room you could use. I was training people in the copy room, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if they have a good relationship or rapport with me, and they're like, I believe in this relationship, we have synergy. I will train wherever you go. You know what I mean? So I think it's just about the creativity of the trainer. Most people are not going to do that themselves, work out in a small space. But if
Yeah.
you got somebody that can be creative with it, you can get the work done. You can work out in here. I mean, you know what I mean?
Right.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And you always, as we always say, you have to just keep moving.
Yeah,
My
move your
father,
body.
my father's 95, and he's in assisted living, and they just sent me a video of him yesterday dancing.
Wow.
Now he also just had a partial hip replacement.
Oh, okay.
He has come back. He is stronger than ever.
Yeah.
His physical trainer was like, I've never seen anything like it.
Wow.
Yeah, he was dancing with no walker, nothing.
Love it.
Dancing, 95, partial hip. So, folks, we have to just keep on moving.
Now, was he? He sounds like he's been active.
He's been active his whole life.
And
Tennis, swimming, biking.
So that has to have a bearing on how fast he recovered.
Yeah.
He
always.
hated old
Oh,
people
yeah.
and fat people, though.
He still does. He
Right.
does not like fat people or old people.
And he makes fun of them.
He does. He outwardly makes fun. He's like, wow. Wow. Her butt. I'm
Wow.
like, Dad. He'll like, won't eat. He'll like, he can't eat. He'll have to put his fork down if he sees someone.
Or he'd make fun of old people
Yeah,
walking.
he's like,
Wow.
look, they're so old. I'm like, Dad, you're 95.
I aspire to be that, though. I want to keep moving. Right?
Right.
My brain might go, but at least, like,
Right.
man, you want to
Oh,
just
yeah.
keep moving. I want to be able to move.
That's why they say right away, get walking after you get
Get
placement
walking.
like that,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yep. He did.
Yeah. But I love that, you know, the fact, first of all, he sounds like a fun guy. You know what I mean? So,
He's a barrel of laughs.
okay. Okay. So it sounds like it. But I love, there's a kind of a lesson and an inspiration there for people to take away is if you get active earlier in life, you know, you're going to bounce back from whatever your later life
Right.
throws at you.
Mm.
And it sounds like you said, he was swimming, he was doing all these other things before. And so get active as soon as possible, because we all never know when something's going to hit us.
Exactly.
I've had people who have gone in for various surgeries, for a lot of things, whether, you know, but the doctors were saying that they have a greater chance of recovering because of all the workouts that they've done previously,
Oh, right.
or they've just been shocked that they've recovered so fast. So
You know, and I like to tell myself I need a little bit of a layer of fat because, you know, if something were to happen.
If all of a sudden you were stuck in a cave and you couldn't get out, you want to survive.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
Yeah.
what I tell myself. So it, you know, it's okay that
Yeah.
I'm like,
fat is not the enemy. It has purpose in the body.
Yeah.
You know, it protects the organs. It traps toxins that are
See,
in the
now
body.
I feel better.
Yeah.
I'm
You
really
know what I
feeling
mean?
good about myself,
Yeah.
Stanley.
I
out of
love that
time?
I'm protecting my
Oh.
organs.
Right.
Guys,
well.
we're out of time. We
Stanley,
can't
give
talk
us
about
your social one more time and the website one more time so that people can, because I'm going to follow you for sure.
Sure. Thank you so much. Lovely community. You guys, thank you for bringing me here today. Jen, thank you. StanleyPorter.net, StanleyPorter.net, and then Instagram is at StanPFitness.
And ladies,
Love it.
Stan is buff. So
He
if
is
you
buff.
want to
My
watch
goodness.
his
Yeah.
videos on Instagram, you
Yeah.
should watch him do push-ups.
Yeah.
So you visited my Instagram.
Not yet, but I
No,
will.
but we're going to.
Okay.
You
He's
should
got big
Do you
muscles.
do
You're
like
gonna
a
get super stocked.
do you do like a little daily thing, like today's exercise?
I don't do today's exercise.
Okay.
He shows his triceps and
Oh.
stuff.
You know,
Stanley, if
sometimes
I
do
work
little
out, will
poses.
this go away?
Little poses.
Uh,
No, we're talking about Stanley right
Oh,
now.
sorry.
Look, yeah, if you work it out consistently.
I'm too tired, Stanley. Stanley, thank you so much. This has been so inspirational.
Thank you,
tired and
Stanley. And
hungry,
thank you,
Stanley.
Jen, for
Thanks,
bringing this
Jen.
amazing human in.
Yes.
Thank you.
I told you.
Yep,
Fitness
awesome.
first, health first.
Health first.
Thank you.
Keep moving, everyone.
All right.